the Shemar Stewart situation has somehow gotten even more ridiculous. He has now left mandatory minicamp. Pro Football Talk reference, there were some people grilling him for this, which I thought was completely ridiculous to do that. Pro Football Talk reference that he left because he didn't want to be a distraction. I actually applaud Shemar Stewart for doing that if that was directly his reasoning why, and not because his agent just told him to get up and leave. This is not a Nico Iamaleava situation where he just freaked out and panicked and left and somebody told him to get out of there.
Yeah.
It was very clearly becoming a distraction because every single time I would type in Shemar Stewart to get info on this, it would be so-and-so chimed in, so-and-so chimed in. Al Golden talking about like, hey, he's been super engaged and awesome in all of the team meetings that we've had, but he can't get out there. It's distracting that he's getting asked about that. And honestly, he shouldn't have to freaking be there. He's unsigned. To clarify for anyone who is not caught up, the Cincinnati Bengals are trying to add a ridiculous clause into his rookie contract that has never been in a rookie contract before. They're trying to turn him into a guinea pig. It is essentially stating that if he makes any mistake over the 4 years, they can just void all of his guaranteed money. I don't know how the NFLPA hasn't directly stepped in here and put their foot down. That has been one of the bigger surprises to me. But the fact that we have made it this far, forget the fact that they desperately need Shemar Stewart. This is just beyond disrespectful, the fact that they are not budging.
It's like mobster activity. It feels like he's getting shaken down by the mob, and he's got a vig on the interest. He was drafted there. He was drafted there in the first round. He wasn't traded for or picked up or a guy that's a lemming jag in the league that it has been disgruntled personality issues and they're taking a chance and they drafted this guy. Know what that means? They had a lot of meetings with him. They had to go through a process, but what I have to assume at this point is they said, God, we don't have anyone that we wanted on the board and we have to take the Shemar Stewart kid. And now maybe they had concerns about him. And now we're going to have to force this onto him. Don't draft the guy that you're going to have to do this to because it feels criminal. And the people that are in touch with it are not going to respect you or like you for it. Like, this is turning me so off of the Cincinnati Bengals, everything that they do in their operation. And all Shemar Stewart has done is handle it like a pro. Like a pro. The interviews that he is having in his locker, answers every question with class, eye contact in the camera, just really good.
He's taking a couple shots. He's taking a couple, like, they just want to be right.
Oh, those were benign. It's their contract. That's fair to say for him. It's fair to say. Because I don't think it's not like he's holding out for a ton of money. He's holding out for a contract that is on par with his peers.
A ridiculous clause that should never have been in there in the first place. So here is what I didn't know, though. And I'm really glad Pro Football Talk went through the efforts of determining, like, okay, here are his alternatives. Craig Carton talked about it on his show, the Breakfast Ball, that he was saying that he was on a call and had heard from his representatives, apparently, that Shemar Stewart's father asked, that can he request a trade? So that's on the radar. So they can request a trade. It just has to come 30 days before game one of the NFL season, their first game. I believe they're just a Sunday game. So 30 days before week one, that Sunday. He can also opt out of the contract. He can go and just sit out and he can work out for the entire year. Maybe he can go play some UFL ball if he really wanted to. And then if he doesn't agree to terms and this happens, can enter the 2026 draft. The even more complicated possibility, and I'm actually kind of rooting for this because of how easy it currently is to challenge the NCAA, if he tried to go back to school. Apparently, the NFLPA has some language in there, the article I was reading, that kind of insinuates that somebody could try to do this. It more so comes down to the NCAA. I don't really see a reason why he couldn't hop in the transfer portal and go back. Again, there is a route for him to do that. I'm hoping some SEC school just goes and grabs him. I mean, heck, just go back to Texas A&M even, and they've got high hopes this year. They would love to have him come back for one more year and put up some good numbers, and shit, you could be the first overall pick.
All three options are better than whatever's going on right now.
Don't play there. You've been so disrespected. Don't play there.
I've never seen anything like this. I've seen there's been crazy contracts and there's been a lot of different wild incentives, and we've seen athletes get burned by shady agents and trusting the wrong people. This is one where we're all kind of scanning over it together and realizing there's one common enemy, and that is this language in the contract.
Well,
so
the common enemy is the Bengals.
Yes.
Let's take it a step further.
The all options are better than sitting here and indulging these fools. Anything is better. The redraft is better. Go ahead. Go train. Go find a D-line guru and just train. UFL would be sick. That would do good. That'd be awesome for the league. Everyone would tune into the show.
I don't know if that timetable actually would work, though, because he'd probably have to play like half the season and
that's
dip
fine.
out.
But you know what? Everyone would be tuning into those games where Shemar Stewart is in because they want to see what he's like on tape. It would add more of a story. I bet it does pretty good numbers for the UFL. Not saying a bunch of people are going to go to this game and in the stands, but it would draw my eyes. Like, I want to see what a first-round pick NFL player, defensive lineman, supreme athlete looks like in the UFL. Because right now we see a bunch of UFL ball, which is fringe NFL guys. Really, 3 out of 6 traits needed. Whereas the NFL, you probably need 4. So they're just underneath. They do some spectacular stuff. And they do some really bad stuff. But if you get a 5 out of 6 trait guy in there, I want to see what it looks like and how big the gap is.
Actually, now that I think about it, the UFL season, I don't know anything about the UFL. Someone actually commented that we should do UFL content, which that's too much. We can't cover every piece of football.
Well, we'd only really need to cover one person.
Who, Shemar Stewart?
No.
No, Adrian Martinez.
Actually, I'm in. You want to do the Adrian Martinez check-in hour?
Nothing has stopped you from doing that. If you had an ounce of creativity, we would be doing that. I would have allowed you to do that on this show.
You know what?
I would have allowed you.
You know what? New segment. It's going to be...
It's too late now. The season ended, dumbass.
What?
The season's over.
Right. All right. Well,
I'm pretty sure that the season's over.
Next season, we're doing Messiah Mondays. Okay? And that's where you get a 5-minute church service recounting what happened with Adrian Martinez. I think it did. Or at least there's a championship.
The championship. No, wait. No, it's this. It's the Defenders versus the Panthers. What team is Adrian Martinez on?
Oh, is he on?
Oh, come on, man. You can't dick ride Adrian Martinez.
I'm not dick riding him.
What team he's on.
Doesn't. You know what team he's on? He's on the Lord's team. He has followers, okay?
God. He's only 25?
He's
on the Jets, technically.
On the New York Jets?
He's on the New York Jets. He was on the Birmingham Stallions. That was the team that he was on.
Well, the Stallions went back to back a couple years ago.
Wonder
why.
To get back to what we're talking about here, I would just like to point out any dipshit, mouth-breathing dolt who is targeting Stewart and saying that he is the one in the wrong in this situation, please just admit that you don't understand. Please just admit that you don't understand.
He hasn't earned anything yet. He hasn't earned it.
Oh my God. The amount of people. What is
that statement supposed to mean in this context?
It is a filler statement for dumb people who can't create their own thoughts. But I saw a thread where somebody was talking about how his decision to sit out was subconsciously motivated by the fact that he grew up a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Somebody was trying to say like he might act like he doesn't want to be a Chiefs fan, but it's ingrained in there. That was what somebody tweeted. This had a lot of interactions on this tweet.
Shane Ray got drafted to the Broncos with a Chiefs logo tattooed on his arm.
Okay. I forgot about
that. It happens.
That's in the division.
He hasn't earned. He's earned enough to get a fair contract in the league. That's what he's earned.
You get drafted in the first round, automatically. Like that's it.
You've at least earned a contract without nauseating language and barriers. That is what you have earned. Now, it doesn't mean we're paying. Am I missing that he's waiting on a $125 million contract? Is that what
that'd be kind of sick? Or am I kind of based if he was just like, hey, I want the biggest contract ever, even though I haven't played a
if he wanted the biggest contract ever out of college and had that clause in it, I'd say go for it, big man. That wouldn't be crazy to me. But $15 million, $30 million, whatever he's going with, chump change. But the Bengals are hoping that this kid screws up so they can get out of having to mortgage their future because they botched Burrow, T, and Jamar. They just should have paid them all after their rookie years. Honestly, all of them should have had 10-year contracts right then and there. I know that's not how the league works. It's a bit hyperbolic, but because they're in the hole with their 3 best players, they're putting this in place so this kid screws up and they don't have to pay him.
Right.
That is like an insane way to operate.
That kind of does. It's an interesting way of looking at it. Of like,
why else would they do that?
Well, right, yeah, they like are shocked to find out they drafted good players who are good, and then we're so stubborn about paying them, and now they want to find ways to avoid having to pay future stars.
They traded Pratt.
What's being created?
Pratt's not
Well,
there.
they cut him. They
Uh,
didn't trade him. They cut him. He's signed with the Raiders.
I thought they traded him over there.
Yeah, disappointing. We'll see what happens with this. I bet that as soon as I'm back, we'll probably have another segment on this, and we'll keep talking about this. But I hope that he gets redrafted. I hope that he leaves and gets redrafted. Screw the Bengals for doing this dickhead shit.
Anything but, I'm glad we met in the middle, and maybe
there's no meeting in the middle.
The Bengals should come out and say, we apologize for the clown show. They won't, because no one in the NFL ever apologizes for the clown show.
Ryan's being problematic.
Well,
I wish Shemar would just be grateful for the opportunity.
You know what? Ryan Roberts is a great satirist, and Jim Schultz is a great don't know what's going on. Sean, can you dunk? ?
It's a good question. No, he can't.
Jim, I can't. I could dunk a volleyball in college.
Would explode if he tried to jump right now.
I've dunked.
When was the last time you jumped?
Really jumped?
Jumped.
You want to see me jump?
That's good. No, I don't need to see you jump. Answer the question. When was the last time you jumped?
Ooh.
I can't remember the last time I jumped. When was the last time you as an adult jumped?
Years ago. I would have had to been doing like a box jump in the gym years ago.
I mean, I think I've got enough. You don't do this because you don't need to. I think I've got enough of those stupid childish interactions where you see the top of a door frame and you jump and you tap it.
I don't need to do that. I just tap it.
Yeah, that must be nice.
It is nice.
I think that you would die.
And I have dunked before, Jim, just not the actual basketball.
I doubt that. I think that all of the blood.
You want the video?
All of the blood. I bet you've got a video.
I do have
all
a video.
Of the blood.
I send you a lot of videos.
Okay. I bet all the blood used to generate the force for you to jump would rush to your heart and your heart would explode. I think that would happen.
I'm trying to think what I couldn't jump up to in this apartment.
I don't think you could get up to that couch
easily. I could get up to that ledge, not on a standing vert, but I could, if I needed, get both of my feet onto that frame. Couldn't get the island.
Did you get on the table?
Ooh, that's a good question.
All right, we got to
probably not. You know what? I probably couldn't jump onto the table.
Yeah, it's a high table.
That's a good.
Should I try and do it right now?
Yes. Do a birthday jump. Do a birthday. I'll hold your iPad. I'll move your mic. You do a birthday jump. I put together this table. It'll hold you up.
I don't trust it. I'm not jumping on this.
Why
table.
would you offer it then? Now I want to see you do a birthday jump.
I wanted you to say no.
Why would I say no? You had a creative idea. I want to see you jump.
I question if it was creative. All right,
Jim. I'd let. This guy sucks.
I do have I have a 29-inch vertical. Ryan, get it right. I have a 29-inch vertical. Put some respect on my name.
I saw that operation where he was getting his measurements in, Ryan.
I have a video of it. I have a video of it.
There weren't lasers. We're not working with lasers. We're working with old Jersey men. We're working with old Jersey men and their stopwatch timers.
Yeah, they were using a stopwatch on my vertical.
Yeah, at the time. Hey, dummy, how else? We used a timer to clock verts at Rhode Island.
That was a jump pad. It was a jump pad.
It still times you. I bet there was some idiot.
Those are unreliable.
Eating a chunk of provolone. Just all right, DeLeone.